I've been thinking lately about staying the course on big projects. One of the real challenges with any sufficiently large project, from what I can tell, is the temptation, when you get into the middle of it, to go work on something else. Something that's faster to finish or more readily rewarding or easier or just plain novel. Over the years, I've started a fair number of software projects that ultimately never went anywhere. Starting a project is fun and exciting. There's so much possibility ahead of you. And finishing a project is really exciting too. You get that nice sense of having accomplished something, of having made something, and now it exists in its entirety. The slog in the middle, not so much. Even when you enjoy the work, I said slog in the middle, and it really can be a slog. It takes an enormous amount of energy and quite a bit of drive to just keep chipping away at it, to keep pushing day after day after day, to keep to keep just steadily chipping away at the giant log in front of you that doesn't seem like you're ever going to get through it. Maybe you will, maybe you can even see your progress, but still a lot of chipping away to go. Way back in the early 2010s, I was watching my wife work on and ultimately complete her first novel. And I watched her work through exactly this challenge. Starting the book was really fun and exciting. Finishing was really satisfying. I did this thing. The work in the middle, she enjoyed it, but it was harder, a lot harder. And from talking to a lot of artists, across a lot of different media over the years, this isn't just common or frequent, it's the norm. In some sense, it almost norms what it is to make a truly significant work. There is a slog in the middle, and you have to endure. I'd go further than that, not just for these kinds of creative works, but as I talked about in the essay I posted to my newsletter last month, for all kind of making that we do. If you're growing a garden, there's a long stretch where you don't have flowers or fruit. You have some plants and you have to take care of them, and it might not be exciting, and you probably need to do a bunch of weeding. The work is the work, as I put it in that essay, and the work is sometimes a slog. That's where I find myself on the symphony that I've been writing. I keep finding myself tempted to go work on other projects instead, because I'm in the slog in the middle. I'm still enjoying it a lot. I'm really happy with the work I've done this month. I've got my feet back under me after a bit of a dry spell early in the spring after starting a new job. But I'm in the middle of it, and it's hard to just keep chipping away at it. I'm 2/3 of the way through a draft of the third movement of this thing. I know that I still have revision work to go back and do on movements 1 and 2, and that once I finish movement 3, I'm going to need to do revision for that too. And then I need to take movement 4 from the good introductory opening ideas I have for it and turn it into something that's not just good as a standalone, but actually works conclusively for the piece as a whole. And I will probably enjoy that process of making it, but there's still a lot to do, and I feel that very keenly right now. I mentioned in last month's newsletter that I'd been listening to Rachel Podger's recordings of Bach's partitas and sonatas, and I'll have links to those below the essay here. And it had me itching to go try my hand at one of those forms, to write a sonata or a partita for violin or viola. It sounds really interesting, but I refuse to let myself do that until I finish this draft of Movement 3, because stopping to work on other projects, even good projects, even projects like Holy Saturday, which I wrote this year, or The Desert last year, that can go one of two ways. On the one hand, it can be a little palate cleanser after I've done something successfully. On the other, it can be a distraction. It can be a way of letting myself off the hook from the slog. It can be a way that I don't keep making progress at the big work. And I don't regret pausing and going and making those particular pieces of music. I'm really happy with them. I'm proud of them. But I'm in the middle of movement 3. So I'm restraining myself from going and swinging at another piece like that right now. no matter how much I want to every time I listen to one of those Rachel Podger recordings. Because if I do, it's just going to take that much longer for me to get through this first draft of Movement 3. And I can tell, because I know myself, that right now, the desire to go after a violin or viola sonata is at least as much about wanting to step away from the slog as it is about interest in that form for its own sake. Now, will I go do something like that after I get through this draft? I think there's a pretty good chance that I will. It seems interesting, and that thought hasn't gone away over the last month. But I won't let it be an excuse not to keep at the work that I have set for myself. And I won't let it be an excuse not to keep making that slow, steady progress on this thing, because that would be an excuse that I could justify so easily because I'm still making music, but it wouldn't be making progress on this piece, on this work. So I'm going to stay the course. Love to hear from you if there are ways in which you've had to stay the course in an art project. What was it? What did it take to do it? And of course, if you like this, please do the thing. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, send it to your grandmother. You know the drill. Thanks for watching.